If there was, there was only one or two, and I didn't pay much attention because I just started dumping everything on top. It's like a lot worse than I had, Nancy.
First morning waking up at camp. Garth, I was asleep.
Only like an hour and a half behind schedule.
I just kept seeing Brock laying in bed over there, so I just kept seeing that.
My alarm went off, and everyone kind of moved and wiggled, and then I heard fucking.
The tadpoles. Tadpole wrangler. I don't know how well you guys can see it. There's a coon. There's a raccoon, baby raccoon. Climb the tree. There he is. Little baby raccoon. You can see me? Oh, there's another baby coon climbing up the tree. There's two of them. There's number two. Oh yeah, they're squeaking for something. One of the food plots we ran across. The first one we ran across on public. Nice, good looking bean field right here. Goes back into the marsh. This is a small one, but very well manned. So just right off the road as we're driving out of this public, you get a beaten down, pretty much cattle trail, deer trail, going up here. And this little bit thicker timber in here. The state is full of ferns though. Don't have a lot of ferns where I'm at in Iowa. But the amount of deer trail and deer track I have back here it comes to a Y. And you can go two ways. And my ride's leaving me. So we're at another piece of public here in Wisconsin. It's a little more kind of set up like Iowa here too. We have a very marshy area just over here to my right. Private, and have a thicker timber over here on my left. Behind us we have open CRP fields that go into thick woods. But we're thinking just maybe that in between the marsh and here is kind of your only, one of the main pinch points I would say in this area just off map views. So we're gonna go back here, check between the marsh and the CRP and the woods to see if we really have any good transitions. If we have the deer sign we're looking for. The grass is taller, so we have bedding here. If we can find a nice spot that's just a little taller, I'm sure we can find where the deer most likely be at, which looks like if you go to your back right over here, it kind of looks like it slopes uphill, so might be able to find some up there or catch them up there. So we'll check it out and we'll let you guys know. We just combed this field, checked out the back corner right there as a pinch point between the two marshes. Came out over here to the right, seen a lot of deer sign back in there. Already hit 3 sets of beds, and as we were walking, sure enough, we're right here in the middle of a bed, and we're not, well, truck's right there. 40 yards off the road. Seeing a big old deer bed right here. A couple of them. It's right back next to that swamp and on that hillside.
Think the locals have a name for that tree?
You got to.
Final stand.
Final stand.
I bet you a lot of deer have been killed out of that tree.
I think this place will be loaded.
Another one. This one's right next to the road.
So we're just scooting down the road and kind of showing you guys the overview of what kind of land we're hunting. Back there is where we were talking about hunting the corner of that marsh. Real good hard transition line in between the open fields to a wall of just thick timber. But what we found in that other spot in these open fields, this grass is actually probably about waist high, and there's a lot of deer bedding inside this grass. Now that could change during hunting season, but as of right now, during your summertime hunt into your fall, you could probably find a good amount of deer still bedding in here, debating on the pressure of this public hunting area. Learning a lot, Garth?
Oh yeah.
Beaves, what do you got to say about Wisconsin Public so far?
I think that's an old scrape right there. That may be a branch that hung off. It looks like an old, maybe a year or so ago. Probably had some branches hanging down there. They're trying for that one. It's up there ways, but they'll do it. There goes the second one right there. Up to the right. Mama hanging on the babies. Those are big old racks. It's still there? So for a split second. Shit, better place.
Another one. Two of them.
They're the same ones?
Yeah.
Probably. Just kicking them back around. That's so they probably didn't run very far.
Yeah.
Oh, there they go back there. There's one.
What?
Right back there. That looks like actually not spotted way back there. Where we're just right behind us now. Where we came from.
Really?
That one looked like it didn't have spots on it.
Well, there's one that didn't have spots. Down there. Yeah, right where they were at, dude. Great. Oh, they walked this way. Because if you look down this trail, look, you can see right where they walked.
This one I think is going this way. This one's older, but I think this one's going this way. See, that's the back. This would be the split of the front. Or I could have been standing here licking, smelling, doing circles.
How do you get to point the direction you're going?
Talk.
So we just kicked up 2 baby fawns. They're laying down in this.
Right
There's
here?
like an open patch inside a bunch of like falling down timber.
But the trail is blocked from this dead fallen tree, and they were both just right in this area. And then they went.
It's kind of goofy to find 2 of them together. Usually mom will spread them out apart from each other.
Just found the spots and found them.
It's pretty.
Let's keep going that way.
A little thicker down here.
Okay. We're gonna come into it.
No, we should be walking pretty much straight south, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, remember the road on top. Oh, that's right. We're going straight in. Deer camp, just taking out. Right there.
So they're obviously not going too far.
Oh, no, it's a tree, that's true.
It looks like a deer
Yeah,
taking
it
a
is.
ladder.
What's the else, brother?
There's not filming, is he?
Yeah, he is. Looks like they plan on doing a lot of logging. Yeah, a lot. I mean, it looks like most everything that's marked is deadish.
Yeah.
But it kind of sucks to come back and find out that machinery's been already,
That's the way to use it.
Because you can can see there's like a layer across where this undergrowth stuff is up to, and if you were above that, you'd be looking down through a canopy of this. This is a very, up top is way more open than down there.
It's a very split up terrain in this place. So we can start going up back that way. This isn't a shelter, this is more flat. It's not bad. This is more like islands. There's a lot more ferns, but I mean, it's kind of like Iowa wood. Yeah, dude, it goes forever. Like later, I'll look up the one next to this one.
Very beautiful coat up here.
Wave that tail good.
Wow.
Found a little, it flooded definitely as bad here as it did back home this spring, but oh, it's hot. There's a little watering hole. Just a divot down there. I'm sure it flooded up in here, and when water receded, it made this little water hole where there's some tracks. I don't know how well you can see them. They're a little old. Probably, I'd give it 3 days at least. There's Brock. We'll get with him in a minute. Well, there's some deer tracks on the other side of it, but you can just keep them. Look for little water holes like this. If there was no water around and I found this, I'd probably be pretty close to it, because come September, still a good chance of it being hot, and they're going to want some water. Definitely would mark this down and remember it. But, all right. Oh, just walking in on a pretty tight deer trail. I got out of the marsh a little bit. It's pretty wet back there, but there's a deer trail. It's hard to see. It's pretty thick in here with the green stuff. Late season, this would be pretty open, I bet. There's a trail running over that way, and Brock's over there somewhere trying to get over here out of the water. There's a trail that goes down that way. That should go to an open field. See if we can't find something, some sign. Try to stay a little bit dry. So here we are at another public hunting ground. Cart's gonna sit this one out and take a nap in the truck. But gotta look, see a couple spots between a couple open fields. Got a pond on one side and a marsh on the other with a timber little finger that comes down in between the two. It's a huge property. This place is like 2,200 acres, but
3,200 acres.
it's huge. It's huge.
It's enormous.
Yeah, you really have to come in, hang and hunt this from out of town. You definitely have
There's a
to
bed right here.
try and hunt some pinch points and stuff like that. Apparently Brock found a bed.
There's a bed right here in the middle of this trail.
Well, I'll let you guys know what we find.
Oh, they're definitely in Wisconsin. Hair blowing.
Yep. There was another one up inside the woods that was blowing while she was running. Here? I don't think that's her. Matthew Soul, Cam, that's the sign.
Stopping at one of the local pro shops here in Wisconsin. Check them out. See what they got to offer up here.
But it's like, yeah, a lot of people try to get out right away. Kind of slows down for a while.
Right, I know, you can tell there's a bunch of rifle on, especially with all the shooting shacks up in the fields and stuff and all that mess. We didn't know how hard people go bow hunting and stuff.
Yeah, it's very area dependent. I mean, like Dane County, there's spots that you won't see anything yet. Yeah, go to the next spot. Yeah, you can see some of the whole back there.
It's public ground, we just thought we'd come check it out.
Yep. I don't like the Mud Lake was good. That was a fun place to hunt.
Sorry about how dark it is, guys, but little Wisconsin trophy room. What's up, guys? Gonna kind of try to figure out the camera right now. Beeves driving right now. Kind of wrap up what we learned, what we figured out, kind of everything. What's going on with Wisconsin? Obviously, we got Beeves still with us. I'm doing a terrible job of filming. We got Garth back there. He's a little worn out from the trip. This is actually Garth's first year bow hunting. He's just learning as we go, figuring it out. He's got it down, sleeping. Alright, we're back over here. Why do you go silent and just stare? Every time the camera comes out, you just look forward.
I'm looking out
while you're driving.
There to make sure and continue to try to drive on the road.
Okay, so Beaves, let's get your opinion on Wisconsin, what you thought, what you saw.
We saw a lot. We didn't even see that much. All at the same time. There's so much to see.
There is so much to see.
You could spend a week out here and you still wouldn't see all that much compared to what they have.
I think you can spend 2 weeks out here and not even see everything. Like most of your public lands around here are
these are not just woods, they're forests.
They're forests. You're hunting forest up here. Like
forests.
Most of them are well over 1,000 acres. Easily over 1,000 acres. But in all, you get a lot of diversity up here. You get marsh, you get real thick, you get hilly, you get hardwoods, you get pines. Just about anything you can think of up here, you're gonna run into. The soil's different, the plantation's different, the way the canopies are way different. Even a little bit of altitude, I guess. But
Ears are about to pop again.
Other than that, it's been a great trip. We figured out, I think, where we're going to hunt. He actually has a completely different, him and Garth have a completely different idea where they want to go up here. I have a different piece of public that I'm really became a fan of. I'm curious to really get a foot on. Well, we walked it, but I'd like to get in there and see what it's going to look like when we have hunting pressure and everything else. So,
what's the terrain in your place that you want to hunt?
My place is more of a marshy, so my spot that I'm kind of going after is, it's marshy, thick, open CRP. It could resemble Iowa in some places, but then in other places on the piece of public, it's 360, not even close to being something the same. It's only around 226 acres, which really is average Iowa one. Now the one Beeves picked is 2,000.
Like 2,500 or so, something like that.
Now, what's your diversity there?
Yeah, that's a bunch of bench systems. It's got a couple fields, might try to go by-ish, but inside it's a bunch of thick woods that run lines to a little more open woods with bench systems throughout the whole thing. And I think if you set up, Toyota ramp now, I think if you set up on a thick line where it comes into a little more open woods, if you found one of those benches that kind of funnels down to a point or something, obviously go and try to find some good deer sign, recent used ones, find a trail or something. I think you'll find them walking that line, that transition line, big woods. Don't get to hunt that on public and I
Not that big.
Not real close to my house, not this big. So I'm curious to go out and tackle it and find a small spot where
Well, even
magic spot.
the canopy and the layout of the land on like
It's like a two-layer. You got to get above one layer just to shoot back down into it.
well, just even the ferns. There was so many ferns in there. Like we don't.
I don't know. It's definitely not terrain I've ever seen yet anywhere close to home. So that's why I want to go hunt that one.
It's very wet inside there.
It's moist.
It's moist, as bees would call it. It's very moist. Sorry about the camera right now, guys. We're just kind of going down the road and trying to do a little recap while we're driving back. Got a good little drive ahead of us. But in September we'll be back here. We have our spots picked. You guys will see more on that when around September hits. Try to get a deer down and then go hunt